The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Welcome to Aging Horizons. On today's show, we'll be talking about Wish of a Lifetime. This is an organization that's nationally that grants wishes to seniors. Last year, they granted over 300 wishes, and we're here at the Governor's Conference where they set up two centenarian sisters to come together. They also give out roses, over 170,000 roses last year. We'll have information on that and so much more. Stay tuned.
A decade of Montana fourth graders on Energy Share. When winter gets tough here in Montana, Lily Wallace knows who can help keep your home warm. Energy Share. That's right, says Livia Little. Energy Share wants to make sure that every Montanan stays warm, no matter how cold it gets outside. Thanks to Energy Share, we'll be cozy tonight. Energy Share is not a government program. It's neighbors helping neighbors who face energy emergencies the Montana way. Call or visit our website today. Energy Share is a good way to care.
Can you say ombudsman?
Ombudsman. Benson?
Uma Doodlesman? Fortunately, you don't have to say it right to get the help of a long-term care ombudsman. If you or a loved one reside in assisted living or long-term care, an ombudsman can help resolve any issue. And these services are completely free and confidential. Now, why don't you try that again?
Ombudsman.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
You've probably seen some big-name celebrities on your TV lately talking about all the Medicare benefits you're missing out on. But the insurance companies who are paying for these ads may be pushing benefits not available in Montana. Fortunately, help is available from a friendly state health insurance assistance program counselor who can help you sort it all out. It's free, and we screen everyone for eligibility regardless of your zip code. It's Montanans helping Montanans. Call today. Welcome to Aging Horizons, brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services Senior Long-Term Care Division. I'm your host, Brian Lamore. And we're talking at the Governor's Conference on Aging, the 55th annual one down here in Billings, where we've been able to draw in great resources to do presentations and for people just to meet each other and do meet and greet things. One of them here is Caitlin Shepard. You're the regional manager for Wish of a Lifetime, and that Wish of a Lifetime is an interesting title. What is it?
Yes, Wish of a Lifetime is changing how we age one inspirational wish at a time. We've been around since 2008, and we grant wishes to older adults across the nation. We grant around 300 wishes a year for people 65 and older. These are experiential wishes to tie older adults back to their passions and hobbies, the people in their lives, their communities, and we really want people to be able to age with hope and joy.
Hope and joy. And you're here at the 55th Annual Governor's Conference because you did an experience of a lifetime with centenarians. Tell us about that.
Yes, we did. We've been a sponsor of the Centenarian Luncheon for the past 3 years. And this year we were so happy that we were able to grant a wish for one of the centenarians honored. Helena from Helena was nominated by her daughter Helen to reunite with her sister. Helena has an incredible story of survival. She grew up in Poland during World War II and was actually sent to a work camp, and her sister and her were separated at that time. They were able to reunite 3 or 4 years later once once the war ended, and that connection has always stayed so strong for them. But her sister Barbara lives in New Jersey. She lives here in Helena, and they hadn't seen each other in many, many years. So we were able to send Helena and Helen to New Jersey to spend that time with Barbara and really have that great time together, and what they felt like was probably the last time that they would get to be together in person. But their story has really inspired so many people. Their story was picked up by People magazine online, and has been really inspiring for others. That's another big part of our organization, is not just granting these incredible wishes, but also sharing those stories to really inspire all generations.
You know, we recognize centenarians here in Montana. I think we found about 25 of them. 11 were able to attend the conference, and we have a little write-up in a pamphlet. And it's amazing the stories they have. And, you know, World War II, I mean, kind of modern days, that's old history. But to these people, they actually lived it, were separated, and they came back together. And how many of these Experience of a Lifetimes does your organization fund per year about?
Around 300 wishes a year across the United States. Here in Montana, we have done a handful of wishes this year, whether it be a veteran going back to Washington, D.C., Helena's wish of reuniting with her sister. We had a wish recipient from Great Falls that wanted to go to Harry Potter World. She is a lifelong Harry Potter fan, and she wanted to be able to go to Florida and experience that amusement park with her friend.
That's nice. Well, you know, we're getting the word out here on Aging Horizons about it. What's the process, and what's this, well, I guess, how do people apply, and then what is the selection process? It must be pretty rigorous.
Yeah, so applications are always open on our website at wishofalifetime.org, or you can contact me directly to submit an application over the phone if the computer is not your forte. Right. Once we receive that application, you get to hear from one of our incredible wish granting team. They'll interview the recipient or the nominator. You can nominate yourself or someone in your life. And once we go through that application process and interview, we have a third-party committee that looks at each wish that comes through to approve or deny if we can be able to grant that wish. And then once the wish is approved, we cover all costs for the wish recipient and a companion to experience the wish that they have applied for.
Well, that's neat. And what's kind of the range of wishes that you've granted? I mean, you know, flying to New Jersey, Florida, things like that, pretty expensive, but I imagine a number of them are just really sentimental, but they're not a huge cost, right?
Yes, sometimes someone wants to just do something locally, whether that be maybe getting to go fly fishing again, or taking art classes at the local community college to learn a new passion that they might have. We have individuals who want to go to a sports game or a concert of a favorite singer or band. So a really wide range. Sometimes it's just meeting your great-grandchild for the first time, which even though it's simple to bring those things together, it's deeply meaningful for those individuals.
And I imagine many times loved ones aren't really aware of what that individual would like. It's not a great, huge thing. It's something probably pretty sentimental, but it needs some communication. And many times, do you have loved ones that are applying for their family member?
Yes, for Helena's, it was her daughter Helen that knew this great connection between her mom and her aunt, and that they hadn't seen each other in a long time. We also have great community partners, social workers, activity directors at local senior communities that really get to know their residents that might not have family, and they're able to kind of uncover that wish through reminiscing and getting to know these individuals and letting them know that this is something that could be possible. I think for a lot of older adults, it's not something that you've even thought of because they don't even think that there's something like Wish of a Lifetime out there to make it possible.
Well, I know two of our centenarians were friends. I mean, during World War II in high school, and they came together here, and it's like, man, that was rewarding. They really enjoyed that, and it was unexpected. So I imagine a lot of people are thinking they need a huge thing, a big event, but it's very small. It's sentimental. Is that a lot of kind of a constant thread?
Yes, yeah, I think it really is what the impact would be for that individual, and something that might be really important for another might not be as meaningful to another. We had an individual outside of Montana that her wish was to ride in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. You know, that's fun and lighthearted, and others, you know, are more deeply maybe sympathetic and different than that kind of.
Well, we've quickly drawn to a close on our first segment. We're going to talk about the Cupid Crew next and how you can get a rose delivered to a loved one through this organization, so stay tuned.
Respite care is amazing. If you are capable of doing it, the rewards are beyond measure.
Stephanie Young, respite care provider, on the unexpected benefits of helping people in need.
Being a respite care provider is an amazing experience. It's something that what you give, you get back 100-fold. You receive so much more than you could ever imagine.
To find out how to change lives, including your own, go to respite.mt.gov.
I think the most pleasant surprise when we turned 65 and signed up for Medicare Part B was finding out about our Welcome to Medicare preventive visit.
It was free, and it gave us the opportunity to visit with our doctors and establish a plan for our health going forward.
They reviewed our medical history, measured our height, weight, blood pressure, and counseled us on other risk factors.
To learn more about Medicare's free or low-cost preventive and wellness benefits, call your local SHIP counselor at 800-551-3191. I mentioned it's free, right?
Twice.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare Summary Notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. I'm your host, Brian Lamore, and we're still at the 55th Annual Governor's Conference on Aging here in Billings, Montana. As a side note, next year it's in Helena. You can check it out. You can attend. It's a lot of fun. Rejoining us is Caitlin Shepard. You're the Regional Field Manager for Wish of a Lifetime. And you have another program, great program. It's Cupid's Crew.
Yes, Cupid Crew. Cupid Crew is another program that we have at Wish of a Lifetime. It started 12 years ago. We really found that there was a need to connect with older adults on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Traditionally, you think of Valentine's Day as, you know, a romantic couple, married couples, maybe even my 4-year-old daughter's, you know, Valentine's Day parties that she gets to have in her classroom. But you're not thinking about your grandparents or the older adults in your life. And we know that 1 in 4 older adults are isolated, and so that means over 50 million Americans aren't hearing from someone on Valentine's Day. So that's why we created Cupid Crew. We deliver roses and cards to seniors on Valentine's Day. Last year, we delivered over 170,000 roses across the United States, and about 4,000 of those roses came right here to Montana to older adults across the state. So we are always looking for volunteer groups and community partners who want to receive these free roses to be able to hand out in their communities to the older adults in most need that they serve or are in connection with.
Well, that's really nice. I mean, you say 170,000 roses. Well, you don't have a person to deliver each of those, so you go with community organizations. What kind of community organizations would typically apply, or that you go, yeah, you're the one?
Yes, yeah, we work with a handful of community organizations, whether it's AARP Montana or, you know, senior services here in Billings, to really connect with the people in need. We have organizations in Polson that are delivering roses to the clients that they're serving, whether it be in home health care, whether it's a Meals on Wheels. So the large majority here in Montana are coming through organizations, but we also accept, you know, Girl Scouts, youth groups, church groups that want to deliver maybe in their neighborhood or within their congregation to give roses to the older members of a church.
Well, now, does an individual, like let's say a son or a daughter, would say, contact you and say, I'd like that to go to my father, my mother, who's maybe single, or maybe they're both together? I mean, do you take individual direct requests?
Unfortunately, at this time, we can't do that. But if you know that maybe your mom or dad goes to the local senior center or is maybe a Meals on Wheels participant, we can connect with that organization to see if they'd be interested in delivering to all of those individuals within the program. So hopefully that your mom and dad could still get that rose. Or if you want to sign up yourself, get a rose for your mom, but then find a few other seniors in your area that you can also give a rose to.
That's great, because they probably have friends that would like roses too.
Exactly.
Maybe you could put together a party.
Yeah, right?
Now, are these all 170,000 roses red?
They are not all red. The vendor that we work with, we get a wide variety of colors, from yellow, pink, orange, red, all the different colors of the roses. And we also say we give them to men and women. I think sometimes the men feel extra special that they are also thought of and get a rose on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's really neat. And now you are a field manager for 7 states. Wow, that's a lot. Which 7?
So I oversee what we call our Mountain West region. So Montana down to New Mexico, and then Utah, Nevada, and Arizona are part of my region. I grew up in Wyoming, right down in Sheridan, Wyoming. So I love being in my region and having my home state, but I'm based in Colorado right now.
You're right here in Montana. You must travel a lot.
Yes.
Now, do you mean... Now, we have a website and your telephone. If the telephone number goes to you.
Yes, you'll get me on the phone.
If people want more information, how difficult is it to say, I've got home delivered meals in Billings, to sign up in order to participate in the program?
It's a really easy sign up process. Once this airs, call me, go to our website and get connected with me so that we can get you registered for your roses. All we need to know is the amount of roses that you need, and the address that we'll be shipping them to. And then in the beginning of February, you'll have more details on when that shipment's coming right to your door, and just some helpful tips that our organization gives as you go out in the community to deliver the roses.
So you make it real easy, it sounds like.
Yeah, so we want to make it as easy as possible for our volunteers and community partners.
Well, now, you're sponsoring the Centenarian Luncheon here, and that is wonderful. You know, we pulled up a lot of centenarians. Do you find a lot of centenarians are participating in your programs, or is there an age range that is your ideal target audience?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've granted wishes for a lot of centenarians. It's definitely a smaller group of the wish recipients that we receive because it's harder to find. Montana does a great job of honoring and celebrating them, which is great for us to be able to meet these great individuals. But their age range for our wishes is 65 is the minimum age, and we've granted wishes up to 110 years old so far has been our oldest wish recipient.
Well, maybe at next year's governor's conference you can get roses for all the participants.
Exactly, that would be great.
That'd surprise everybody, wouldn't
it?
Well, now, where do you get your roses from? I imagine 170,000 roses during Valentine's Day. There's a huge demand. Where are they grown?
Yeah, we have a great flower vendor partner that we work with, and the roses actually come from South America. So most of the roses that the United States is getting from Valentine's Day is coming from flower farms down in South America. So it's really fun to see them shipped up to the United States and delivered all across the United States once we get close to February 14th.
I had the opportunity to be in the apple storage bin of the largest apple orchard people in the United States in December, and smell was wonderful. I can only imagine what a rose warehouse would smell like.
Oh, yes. We do sometimes what we call pop-ups, where we'll do a larger rose delivery event, and a few years ago we did 5,000 roses, and I can say that being in a room with 5,000 roses smells pretty great.
It's memorable.
Yes, it is.
Well, I know my uncle used to love to raise roses. He had all of them. He'd bring garbage bags of roses to home for my mother and my aunts, and it was just wonderful, and this is a wonderful program. And we have another segment. We'll talk more about the wish of a lifetime and how you can participate, so we'll be right back.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
You mean I can get help paying my prescription drug premiums?
Let me get this straight. I could be eligible for help with my family's prescription premiums even though I own my own home?
And our assets won't be counted.
If you're a Montana resident enrolled in the Medicare prescription drug program, you could be eligible for help paying your premiums. Call or visit the Big Sky RX website today to find out, even if you think you're over income.
What do you know about that? I'm eligible.
When I found out it was diabetes, my first thought was, Barb, you need help. You have to take control of this. There is help. My doctor gave me a phone number. I called and signed up with a diabetes educator. There is help. I have to put blinders on when I walk past the bakery counter. I can feel my blood sugar go up. You succeed a little at a time. If you have diabetes, help is available. You do not have to do it alone.
Ask your doctor about diabetes education or visit montana211.org.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. I'm your host, Brian Lamore, and we're continuing our discussion about the Wish of a Lifetime program. We have a 7-state representative here that's talking about different programs that is available to Montana seniors for free, and it's fun. Caitlin Shepard, you're the regional field manager for the program, and we're talking about there being a deadline of November 1st for one of your programs, and it's an important deadline, isn't it? What is it and why?
Yes, so Cupid Crew obviously is a Valentine's Day, but we are already thinking about that at Wish of a Lifetime. We have to get our rose order in early so that we can be able to deliver 170,000 roses. So if you are wanting to sign up your group, volunteer, or your organization for those free roses, please contact me by November 1st to get your rose order in, and then we'll have more details as we get closer on the shipment and how it works.
Exactly, because you need to know how many roses you're going to need because you're buying them.
Yes, exactly.
And someone's growing them.
Yes.
And it has to all be done in time. Now, earlier you mentioned that you can get a rose and a card. What's the card aspect of this? Is this a general card everybody gets, or from maybe a loved one?
Yeah, so we have digital cards on our website that people can download, and we often also have cards that people can order later after the rose deadline to get sent to your home that you can decorate with your Girl Scout group or your friends, and give with the cards, give with the roses that you're delivering.
You'll make sure it all comes together, because to generalize, you have organizations locally that are looking for their clients or friends, family, can be churches, scout groups, anything, and they need to sign up early.
Yes, sign up early so that we can get your roses to you by Valentine's Day.
But you also do Experience of a Lifetime. Can you tell us more examples of how you've met those wishes for individuals?
Yes, so we do experiential wishes for our wish recipients, about 300 wishes a year, and we like to put them into 4 categories to make it easier for people to know what types of wishes we can and can't grant. So the first is commemorating service, and this is really honoring our veterans and those that have given back in their life and may want to reconnect with that. So that could be Mike from Helena, who served in the Vietnam War. He wanted to reconnect with one of the men that he met while serving at the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C., and that was his wish. We've had veterans that we've sent back to Pearl Harbor, veterans that maybe want to go on the aircraft or the submarine that they served on and see what the technology looks like today compared to, World War II or during the Korea era. Our second category is reconnecting loved ones, just like we spoke about with Helena's wish to reconnect with her sister. Our third category is renewing and celebrating passions, which is one of my favorite because it really ties back to the individual's passions and hobbies and what they're interested in, whether that be maybe they want to take dance lessons again or fly fishing. We had an individual in Colorado who was played guitar, and he wanted to record his country song that he had written about his family and his that had gone through cancer. And so we sent him to Nashville to record his song in a recording studio. And then our last category is fulfilling lifelong dreams, and these are really those long-held dreams that individuals have had, for 20, 40, 50 years, whether that be going up in a hot air balloon, maybe it's being the pace car driver in a racetrack. Sometimes these are our thrill seekers of wanting to go skydiving or hang gliding. Maybe it's seeing the Denver Broncos play or going to a Rolling Stones concert. So really a wide variety as long as it's an experience.
That's great. Well, you got wonderful programs, but you have an application process. We have a website and your personal telephone number. How do they initiate being considered for these programs?
Yes, so you can nominate yourself or a loved one, or someone else can nominate you. It really is open. We have an application on our website that you can complete on there or print off a printed application and mail to our headquarters in Denver. Or you can call my phone number and I'll help you with it over the phone. Really easy to get that application in. Mostly the questions are, what is your wish? What would this impact have on you to have this wish? Why haven't you been able to fulfill this wish on your own? Why do you need Wish of a Lifetime to help support you? And then there's a few background information just so that we can get to know the individuals more and their story and history. So it's a short application, easy to apply. Once we receive your application, it will go through our vetting process with our great wish granting team. We'll send a report to our validation committee, and they will let us know if it's approved or denied to move forward to grant the wish.
Oh, that's really good. Now, is this many times a surprise to the recipient in that you work with a loved one and then spring it on them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't do surprise wishes anymore. Earlier in our wish granting time, we would do that, and so we want to really make sure that this wish is what that individual's wish is. I think sometimes maybe family members or friends think that this is someone's wish, and maybe it would be something else. So you can definitely surprise someone by nominating them, but we're still going to need to speak to that individual through the process to really hear what the impact would be for them personally and to make sure that it truly is their wish.
Maybe their kids wanted to go with them.
Yeah, right?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And for the Cupid Crew request, that's probably pretty simple too, right?
Yes, very simple. We'll have a registration form that if you reach out to me, I can get an email and send it to you, or again, we can do it over the phone very easily. That really is going to be your name, the mailing address that you want the roses shipped to, and how many roses you need.
Okay, and by November 1st.
By November 1st.
Because they've got to grow them and deliver them. And
yep, and we got to get them to you. So.
And you're hoping for 200,000 roses?
We're hoping for 200,000 roses this year.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, we're talking about the Wish of a Lifetime program. It's here in Montana. Caitlin represents 7 states, and they sponsored the Centenarian Luncheon this year. It was a really wonderful time. The people who are 100 plus had a great time getting together and connected. For Aging Horizons, I'm Brian Lamore. Thank you for joining us.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.